Yeah, so I do think over time he will get stronger. Chakra is comprised of mental and physical energy. I'm not really sure what he can do physically, but in terms of his mental prowess, he can always like meditate, learn more. He's incredibly intelligent. If anything, I would argue the bulk of his chakra potency stems from his mental energy rather than his physical energy. So he's definitely going to get stronger over time. But there is a point where old age kicks in and it messes up your I wouldn't even say I'm, I'm not going to even use a word to describe it, but just more so look at Hiruzen at old age, and then
Yeah,
you'll probably
they
get the gist of
eventually
what I'm
get too
talking about.
old. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not
human,
sure.
your
I'm not
body
sure if
starts
it.
to deteriorate. You know, your legs and knees start hurting after a
Yeah.
while. Back start.
You know what? That's. I'm glad you said that free game because I was trying to figure out. Okay, what exactly? Okay, it's the physical energy that starts to deteriorate, which influences your chakra potency. So yeah, it's more so the physical, and then that would affect the mental because the mind kind of goes with age as well. So yeah, so that makes sense how he would be weaker in old age.
yeah,
So Kakashi looks young, but he's definitely not. Relatively speaking, should be like maybe in his like late 40s. I would imagine maybe
yeah.
even
I think he
50s,
was like 30,
36,
ish, give or take, when
and
Shippuden was around, something more around that. So he's
yeah,
probably around 45, 46, 40. You know, mid to late
yeah.
40s anyway.
So the question is like, when does that start to kick in? I would imagine not right now. Mid to late 40s is pretty
Nah.
young,
Yeah.
so I would imagine he still doesn't have those problems. Now, when it comes to like the Sharingan, is siphoning off his chakra, um, so he doesn't really have the reserves to do what he needs. But without the Sharingan, he it may be an increase, sure, but it's not like a major one because in the deeper arc, he still tells Boruto that he doesn't have a lot of chakra, and like the most he can do with the Rasengan is like put a small crater in the side of like
Yeah,
a
I think he's
hillside.
capping, dude. I'm pretty sure he could do more than that.
I think he was just saying like I don't have as much chakra as like your dad or like a Sasuke or something like
Yeah.
that.
Like, I definitely think he can do more damage than he did. But like, his point was correct. He can't do
Well,
what Naruto can.
well, I'm more so talking about like his demonstration of power, like not really what he was saying, but more so what he actually did. Now we can assume that he's lying or whatever, but I'll just take the series at its presentation.
Yeah, just
So
take it for his word.
yeah, yeah. So with that, I think he doesn't really. It might be an increase, but it's nothing special. I mean, all the feats that you're mentioning is just him using his chakra intelligently. It's not like some kind of um, large potency based thing. It's more like, hey, I have good chakra control. I work with what I have, and I can utilize it efficiently. So I don't. I think he's stronger, but he's not that much stronger in my opinion.
Yeah, although I haven't read the actual novel, but I think he does say like now that he does have the Sharingan, he can use his more chakra. I think
Yeah,
they
he
did
does.
have a
I read
line
the novel.
about
He
it.
did.
I don't know what the word for word thing he said was, but I think he directly says something about it.
Yeah, he can definitely like because just look at what's happening. The Sharingan starts siphoning energy or like chakra. So without that, he has more to work with. It's more of a reserve thing, less of like a potency thing. His strength
Yeah.
didn't increase with chakra. It's more so I got more to work with. But even though that is the case, you still don't see these large scale type of attacks coming from him.
Yeah,
He's
he's never
definitely
gonna like
stronger, but he's
make like
not.
a
Except for in
tsunami
the
of
novel, we
water or
haven't seen
something.
it in the anime, but in the novel, he does. He's using high level jutsu in the novel.
Well, he always uses high level jutsu, but
Mm.
it depends on who you're comparing him to. Because like to me, he's a finesse fighter. He's not really the guy that's going to come in and get
He's like a
like
Mayweather.
a legit. Yeah, like he's not the Tyson, right?
Yeah,
He's not
he's a
going to like
Mayweather.
knock you out with a single blow. Yeah, yeah, he's like a death by a million cuts type of guy.
Hmm.
So I think that's more so the case with him. He's definitely stronger, but in a lot of ways he loses vital things. Like the Kamui is a hell of a thing to lose.
Yeah,
The Sharingan
Yeah, or
compared to
he
just
lost
the
a
Valor
lot of
is a hell
hacks
of a thing.
Sharingan
basically.
predicting
Yeah.
movements with the Sharingan was a big thing for him. Like the way
Yeah,
he
he can't
fought with
use the
it was
Chidori no more.
no.
So
Well, he used purple lightning though. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
was just saying. Like it basically he just doesn't have the hacks that he used to have.
Yeah, he
I
just made up. Yeah, he just tried to make up for what he lost with other
Hmm.
things.
Yeah, and he's
the
he's super intelligent, like Mello said.
the thing is, I'm gonna probably be like in the minority. I'm gonna probably say I feel like it's probably BS. I mean, Kakashi without the Sharingan, it makes a lot of sense in regards to him gaining a lot of chakra, but we've seen like a lot already in the series of Naruto. Just having chakra and not necessarily having a lot or a lot of things to actually utilize that chakra isn't necessarily the best. Even like even like a kid Naruto had all the chakra in the world, but didn't necessarily have the things to actually utilize the chakra. Kakashi, in my personal opinion, he has like a lot of abilities, but in regards to like the upper echelons, like I don't necessarily think that Kakashi would be like could like compete with some of the top tiers without the Sharingan. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with him spamming jutsus. Again, him spamming jutsus, in my personal opinion, would not help him. Like for example, like and I know some of you guys bring up like some of the bigger things that the Sharingan gave Kakashi, but even some of the little things would be extremely helpful for Kakashi. Like for example, like just like predictive analysis, like him actually learning people's abilities extremely quickly, like what Sarda did to Boro, or what Sasuke did to Jigen with with him shrinking stuff like that
Yeah,
right there. My personal opinion
I hear you.
would be would be like extremely helpful in Kakashi's case, because as you guys said, he's not necessarily like the guy's gonna overwhelm you. He's like the smart tactician. He himself personally has been training with like minimal chakra for a very long time. I just haven't necessarily seen a way where like him having an abundance of chakra makes him that much stronger. And not only that, like just like the precision of attacks, like like again, the smaller stuff that the Sharingan just gives you that Kakashi doesn't have anymore. Taijutsu, smaller stuff that he could actually predict some of the Taijutsu moves. He's easier to actually attack people in Taijutsu. Like just the smaller stuff, Kakashi's just not that good anymore. And I think with the Sharingan over that 16-year time span or time skip, he could have gained more chakra. What was it? Chakra control with with the Sharingan, possibly gained a bigger chakra pool, and he'd have just been better. I don't necessarily think it's like set in stone that he's now stronger just because he doesn't have the Sharingan. Even though it said that, I still do say, hypothetically, if he did have the Sharingan through those 16 years, he probably would have been stronger.
So
Yeah,
honestly, everything you said is the exact reason why I prefer Kakashi with the Sharingan. I think it was way cooler. And
yeah, I think
yeah, that's where it's like, yeah, I actually agree that like if he had the Sharingan, he could just be stronger than he is now too. They just said he's stronger, and yeah, I roll with it. But actually, though,
Yeah,
would you have preferred if Kakashi got his Sharingan back instead of just losing it? Because I think I would. I think I'd rather him still have it.
I want him to have both. The
Yeah, I like,
DMS.
or at least the original one he had.
Yeah, at least, but with the thing with the DMSs puts him on the same level as the Sasuke and Naruto's. So like going into Boruto, we would have kind of looked at Kakashi on that same tier. Now obviously we would have understood that
Had to have been
Naruto and
at the
Sasuke.
Momo fight. Like he can't just be retired. Like at that point, he's too important.
Exactly. So I've always thought that entertainment wise, it would have been a lot better if he just had the DMSs going into Boruto, and not only that, kept the DMSs like throughout Boruto, and possibly been like a bigger or played a bigger role in the actual core storyline. The writers even said that they want him to play a core part in the storyline, and he can't really do it right now because he's just not that strong. If he would have kept the DMSs and possibly upgraded a bit with some scientific technology, he would have definitely been in the main storyline.
I do think though, if they did that, they would have had to have written in where he can deactivate it, and it like he has to be very sparing with it. Like if he's going to use the
Yeah,
Susanoo, he's got his quick minute with it, then he's got to turn it off, or else he's going to be shot. Like they would have had to have written in a lot of weaknesses, but I wouldn't have minded. Like I like Kamui and I like Kakashi with it. So I just like him having a Sharingan, but
yeah, true,
unfortunately, I don't
true.
know. I didn't really like him losing it, to be honest. He's Kakashi of the Sharingan. You know, he's
Hmm.
just I'm no longer
Exactly.
Kakashi of the Sharingan. Like
Exactly. And what better way to pay homage to Kakashi of the Sharingan than to give him both DMSs? Like, matter of
exactly, and
fact,
like
they're mm,
Obito's gift was only temporary this time too. He's
exa-
like, I'm gonna give you one last gift for when you become Okage, but it's only temporary. Like, oh, come
like
on, bro,
what?
make it permanent.
Come on, bro. Exactly, man. I just felt some type of way, and they were pulling like a lot of stuff. Like they were putting. I don't want to call it. What is it? Uh, I forgot what it's called, but they were pulling a lot of BS at that particular point and they were just saying like, "Hey, Kakashi, you just get another Sharingan." At that particular point, it wouldn't necessarily be beyond the pale of saying like, "Hey, along with the Sharingan, you now have the chakra reserves of Obito. You now have like the actual body of an Uchiha member, so now you can actually use the DMSs." Of course, complete out of the BS, out of the blue. But at that particular time during the war arc, a lot of stuff was like that. So I don't necessarily
And
think
the
that'd be like completely
Obito
out of
Kama Weed out of the Pure Land or Limbo, wherever he had been were, to come back to the living world. He
That's what I'm
used Kama
saying.
Weed to do it. It's like, what?
Yo, hey yo. So
Yeah, that shit
I
was
think
wild.
they could have. Yeah, I think they could have definitely pulled some BS to help Kakashi out, and the reason why I would have probably wanted that is because it wouldn't necessarily change like too much of the actual hardcore storyline. I think the power scaling would have been a bit different because you possibly have to make Momoshiki and Kinshiki a bit stronger. Same thing with Jigen because Kakashi would have played a bigger role, but it would just add a different element to it, add a different character to a lot of the bigger scenes, and obviously add a different, a much bigger fan base to a lot of the core episodes because Kakashi's fan base huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly though, I don't think it would have been bad though if they did that, because the thing is, like, a lot of people are hung up on how Momoshiki is supposed to be stronger than Kaguya, but a lot of people don't think he actually was. So if they had to make him stronger, that's only going to help with that. And then when it comes to the Jigen fight, a lot of people, including myself, feel like I don't care how strong Jigen is. I wanted to see Naruto and Sasuke actually use everything they can. Like, I want to see them like desperately just dishing out jutsu like left and right and having none of it work. It's just throwing Kakashi in the mix and having Jigen still wins, only gonna add to it. So I wouldn't actually. The only problem though is it's not the same dynamic as Naruto and Sasuke fighting as a team, because if
True.
you throw in Kakashi, now you have to throw in Sakura, which is fine.
I don't know
But
about
it's
that.
like it has to be a whole team. No, you
Don't
can't just
play
ignore
Sakura,
Sakura. Like, she's got to go there at that point.
We could just say, hey, she's doing what she's always been doing. She's the medical ninja. She can't leave the hidden leaf village.
That would
The
piss a
same
lot of
excuse they
people
always
off.
got. Yeah,
If they did
true.
Team 7 minus Sakura, a lot of people would have been mad.